Hi, I'm Princessyummy. I'm making a video on how I made my staff for Kanu Unchou from the series Ikitozen. I made a time lapse, but this is like kind of like a brief summary of like how I actually made it. I didn't film as much as I should have of the time lapse, so I feel like it would be kind of easier if I like talked about how I made it rather than just showed you how I made it, if that makes sense. So this is her staff. It has a dragon on it and this long blade right here. And the whole thing is pretty much made out of Worbla and foam and wood filler, and then the base is a PVC pipe. But what I first did was the blade, and essentially what I did was I took pink insulation foam and I just cut out the shape and sanded it down and then covered it in Worbla. And then like kind of for the sides right here, I put wood filler over it and sanded it down a bit because Worbla edges aren't very nice. And then for the dragon, I pretty much like, I kind of winged it a lot during the dragon making part. So I pretty much just cut out like base pieces for the dragon head and out of pink insulation foam, and then I just hot glued them on to like kind of fill up space. And then I took wood filler and I just covered it like all over the dragon head, and then I just kind of sanded it a little bit, and then that's kind of just how I made like the base for the dragon head. And then all the scales are all made out of craft foam covered in Worbla, and then like the same thing for these pieces right here. With the teeth, I made them out of fibra, and for like these little spike thingies, I took like little wooden skewers and I like cut them into pieces, and then I would take one and then I would like stick it into one of these. And all of these are made out of scrap Worbla, and it took me like 2 hours to roll all of these by hand, so it took a really long time. But I put the skewers like in here and then shoved it in here so that they won't like fall off as easily. And then I also reinforced them with super glue, and same with the scales as well. A lot of this is held together by super glue and hot glue. And I like built the whole thing over like this piece of PVC pipe right here, which you'll see in the video. But and the whole thing is cut into 4 sections. I do also have this end piece here. I don't really like how I made this because it's extremely fragile, and even when we were taking pictures of it, like me and the cosplay, like it started breaking off. So I'm not like a huge fan of how I made this, but I mean it's whatever. I could take it off. Like this whole thing is easily like you can take it apart, but kind of the same thing with this, with how I made this. I just cut out insulation foam and sanded it down and then covered it in Worbla. On the inside there is, you can kind of see it, there's a little piece of insulation foam, and I took a wooden skewer and I shoved it through that and then into this piece up here, and then I like put wood filler around here so that it like blended better, so it holds the teeniest bit together, but the wood filler still cracks super easily, so you know, it's whatever, but I can still take it on and off, you know. Like I said, this whole thing is, I can take it apart. It's kind of hard, but I can take it apart. So it works. It's travel friendly. For the paint, I pretty much used like acrylic paint for like this part up here. But for the PVC, you really can't paint PVC with acrylic paint. You have to use like a special paint for it, and I didn't know what to use, so I found this stuff. It's what I'll show. It's essentially just a spray paint for plastics, and it's by Krylon Fusion for plastic. And I didn't have to sand the PVC at all, or all that stuff that you have to do if you want to just paint PVC pipe with normal spray paint or whatever. You have to like sand it and do all this other stuff, and it's just way too much work. So I just got a spray paint for plastic, and it worked out just fine. And then I also got a clear coat from the same brand and the same kind, and it just clear coated the whole thing, and none of the paint came off, so that's good. And then for like the tassel, it's just red leather and beads. Nothing crazy, it's held on by super glue. And then that's pretty much it. If anyone has any questions on how I made it, feel free to leave a comment. But yeah, that's all I have to say for this. So let's get on to the time lapse.
Bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Yeah. Set my heart on fire.